Now, a new UN report says the world is moving further away from eliminating world hunger and malnutrition, with as many as 828 million people now suffering from a lack of food. And the fallout from the conflict in Ukraine, on top of already disrupted global supply chains, are said to be the main contributors to the hunger crisis. Shara Wharton has more.
Ending hunger, food insecurity and malnutrition by 2030 is one of the main goals of the United Nations. But a report released on Wednesday reveals that not only is the organisation now unlikely to achieve that, but the world is actually moving further away from the target. After a period of relative stability, UN agency researchers say the number of people facing physical hunger and food deprivation rose considerably in 2020 amid the COVID-19 pandemic, and then continued to get worse. Today, they estimate 9.8% of the world's population is impacted by hunger. 11.7%, some 924 million people, also face severe food insecurity.
Projections show that we could still be facing chronic hunger in 2030 at the same level as in 2015 when the 2030 agenda was launched. This is a shocking report card of our efforts to end hunger, and we can and we must do better.
The report says the problem is tied to the rising costs of food, triggered by the impact the pandemic lockdowns had on manufacturing and supply chains. Climate change is also being blamed for hampering food production and delivery in some parts of the world. And the current conflict in Ukraine has disrupted international supplies of grain, fertilizer and energy, as well as therapeutic foods used to treat children with severe malnutrition. The UN says the best way forward is to improve support for the food and agricultural sector around the world and reduce trade barriers on nutritious foods.
We call for government to replace policy measures that are insufficient, inefficient, and unsustainably and inequitably, with measures that incentivize the production and consumption of nutritious food, make the health diets more affordable.
The UN is now warning that more people are likely to face hunger in the months ahead, and without urgent action, the result will be global destabilisation and mass migration on an unprecedented scale. Sarah Walton, CGTN, New York.